Everybody's ready?
Really?
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Captain Jonathan Baxter with the San Francisco Fire Department. I'll spell my name out for you. It's JONATHANBAXTER. I'm Captain Media Affairs, San Francisco Fire Department, speaking on behalf of Chief Janine Nicholson of the San Francisco Fire Department, who was here earlier during this incident. At 5:54 this morning, San Francisco Fire Department responded to multiple 911 callers of a reported structure fire at the intersection of Oak and Octavia in San Francisco. Our fire department arrived on scene just minutes after that initial dispatch and quickly initiated a second alarm and eventually rising this to a fourth alarm fire, bringing over 140 firefighters and over 40 fire apparatus to this scene. At 8:20, well over 2 hours into the incident, we called this fire as contained. That means that we had no further forward progress of the fire, and that forward progress was no longer a threat to adjoining buildings that we call exposures. During the course of this fire, San Francisco Fire initiated what we call a defensive mode, where we deployed ladder truck operations. The water coming out of each one of those ladders is the equivalent of about 800 gallons per minute of water flow onto this structure. During this fire, we also had extension to 4 exposures. Those are the buildings on Hickory and Oak Street, causing fire and water damage. In total, we have 0 injuries resulting from this incident. We do have 8 individuals, 8 valued community members who are displaced from this incident. Those individuals will be getting services from City Services and Red Cross. We were able to escort each one of those displaced into their homes to get valuables out of their homes. This location will be secured moving forward from either law enforcement or fire department. Once the scene is turned over, this scene will be secured by either private security or measures put in place by the property owners and the tenants. Currently, this fire is under investigation by the San Francisco Fire Investigation Task Force. We have brought in an accelerant canine, which I know the media has seen. This is a canine from the Contra Costa County Fire Department. This is an accelerant canine. This canine is used by our investigators to help them eliminate or add to their investigation, and by no means should be indicative of a specific cause of this fire. The origin and cause of this fire will be provided once our investigators come to a conclusion at a later time. With that, I'm open for questions.
Is there any indication that this fire was suspicious?
The question is there any indications if this fire is suspicious? Again, this fire is under investigation by our seasoned and experienced Fire Investigation Task Force. They will determine if this is a accidental, intentional fire, and either one of those categories, what was contributing to that. It's too early to say either way what the cause of this fire is at this time.
Can you explain some of the difficulties of fighting a fire in a building that's under construction? It's different than a building that has already been lived in and has furniture and all that kind of stuff. It presents a different kind of challenge.
The question is what are the challenges to fighting a fire under construction? There are many, but let's key in on a couple. First and foremost, a building under construction at this level does not have fire safety mechanisms in place, meaning that we don't have the suppression system that we would be normally seeing in a building. We don't have the heat protection from closed doors. We don't have the heat protection from drywall, just to name a few. It also allows and facilitates a rapid and fast and hot spread of the fire, which we saw here today. San Francisco Fire Department values itself on training every single day for a multitude of all hazard fires, including buildings under construction. What we saw today is something that we trained for, and what we saw today is our firefighters working aggressively and cognitively to put this fire out as quickly as possible. Again, only 4 buildings were affected in addition to the fire building, with no injuries and only 8 displaced. We could have lost an entire city block. We're very fortunate to have an experienced and fully staffed fire department here in San Francisco. Any other questions?
Oh, nobody else will. Sure, I'll keep going.
Go.
Um, in terms of today, how much longer do we expect it to go on? And also about the scaffolding in particular, because it seems like it poses a risk of perhaps collapse since it was under all this heat pressure. How much longer is this area going to be closed off, and what needs to happen to bring the scaffolding down?
So the question is what's going to be occurring right now moving forward in addition to in regards to the traffic as well as the scaffolding and the fire scene. So let's key in on 3 items. Traffic. This is a very busy street. We want to get this street opened up as quickly as possible. But we do have hazards behind us. You can see the scaffolding. The property owner and the construction company are working with city services to bring a crane in to remove this scaffolding safely. We're going to keep the street closed until that is done. Our firefighters are going to remain on scene as we would with any fire of this severity for what we call fire watch. And that's making sure we don't have any flare-ups from embers or hot spots within the footprint of this actual fire. The investigation, our investigators are currently investigating this fire. They have to make sure that they have safe access. We do that in coordination with the Department of Building Inspection. Those are 3 key factors that we're going to be seeing today. Hopefully within the next couple of hours we'll be able to get the scaffolding down, which will facilitate us reopening up Octavia.
Captain, this was a 4-alarm fire, extremely hot. Was there any evidence of damage across the street because of the heat of the fire? We were led to believe that there were some cracks in windows across the street. Is that perhaps connected, or were there cracks across the street in windows of those buildings?
The question is how hot was this fire, and was this fire hot enough to cause damage to buildings 2 streets over? I mean, Octavia Street is a multi-lane street. I believe we have 8 lanes of traffic, 6 lanes of traffic. My math isn't that great. Let me start that one over. Octavia Street is a 6-lane street with an actual island in between that. We have a great distance from the fire building to across the street. This fire was hot enough to cause cracks in the windows of the building across the street. Access and footprint are also very important. Early on, you see our fire trucks, which you see one right now, placed in a position where, most importantly, they can help reduce the volume of fire, but also facilitate efforts to rescue anybody if that was needed, and a safety mechanisms for firefighters. So when we're talking about access and availability for fire apparatus, we had fire apparatus with damage because of the heat, with some seats being damaged, and we're going to assess some more applicability to our fire apparatus after this incident. That's how hot this fire was.
Last question. I have another question. Any preliminary information that there were squatters in this building, or any issues pertaining to people who shouldn't be here?
So the question is were there any indications of there being squatters or people who are not supposed to be in this building? This is something that our fire investigation task force is going to be looking into. Again, they're looking at digital media services such as security cameras, witness statements, evidence that may be on scene, whether it's evidence of an accidental fire or an intentional fire, or somebody being where they're not supposed to be. Right now, it's too early to say if there was or there was not, but it is something that these investigators are looking at.
You had mentioned the 8 people that were displaced. Any idea where they are and what care they're getting and when they might be able to come back?
The question is the 8 individuals who have identified as displaced, where they are and what services are available to them. Currently, and most importantly, those 8 individuals are okay. That's the most important. What we saw today, which unfortunately we don't see every day, is these 8 individuals who are displaced had one or all of these components. Somewhere to go, tenant insurance, or home insurance. Very important. However, we still provide them with the availability of city services and American Red Cross services so that they can get back on their feet. Remember, just because they weren't affected by high fire volume, they were affected by minimized fire activity within their building and water damage from us protecting those buildings, they're still affected. They still need to go to work. They still need to go to school. They still need to care for their family. These are the things that we're going to be working with them as a city moving forward. But I am able to say that all 8 of them have told us they have places to go. They're aware of the services available. They're going to be moving forward on those services. Any other questions? All right, moving forward, San Francisco Fire does not intend to have any formal media briefings. Please feel free to reach out to me at my email or my cell phone. If you don't have that, please come up to me and gain that. We want to thank our community, our media partners, such as yourselves, for expanding our safety messages. Our community is a huge supporter of us, and we just want to say thank you and have a safe day.
This road closure here, can't say how long.
Can't say, we gotta wait for that scaffolding.
Yeah.
Is the mayor expected to come? You know? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So they just